All right, welcome. Welcome to the party. Here we are. We are at flight level 450, 45,000 feet above the Pacific, flying from Kuala Lumpur to Osaka, Japan. Now showing 173 nautical miles from the airport on our current route. Look at the tailwind. 137, occasionally 138 knot left quartering tailwind. Unbelievable. Look at our ground speed, 549 knots. True. Doing incredible speed. I mean, really something. Well over 600. We were doing a 571 knots across the ground. 571 knots being 657 miles an hour, so really flying. But it's time to start our descent, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's switch our speed knob over to knots. Let's begin a descent. Altitude selector down to 10,000 feet, the standard descent. Give you a few more details about this beautiful flight. Yes, we did a redeye. I'll explain that in a second. So, yes, took off from Kuala Lumpur just after midnight. I was expecting an arrival in Osaka at 7:45 in the morning, Osaka time, which would be 22:45. But we just caught this incredible tailwind, still 136 knots, and it just really sped up our flight. So anyway, yeah, we flew from Kuala Lumpur across the South China Sea over Taiwan, just northwest of the northern part of the Philippines. And the plan, as I said, was to fly through the night in real time. We took off 5 hours, 26 minutes, and 44 seconds ago. Longest flight I've done yet in the longitude. The distance from Kuala Lumpur to Osaka is 4,945 kilometers, or 2,967 miles. Within the range of this aircraft, this girl can go about well over 4,000 miles in terms of her range. Beautiful morning, beautiful sunrise. I don't know what's wrong with the outside camera. I'm not able to move it as I've done in the past. There's something going on, not sure what. I can still go outside and look, I just can't move the camera, if that makes sense. Continue slowing. In time. Right now we'll keep it at 225. Which seems slow, but because we're at 40,000 feet, see our true airspeed's actually 429 knots. Ground speed 509. Still a hell of a tailwind, 126 knots. The plan this morning here in Osaka, and by the way, happy Thanksgiving here in the States, is to land at runway 06 left, Zulu, on the ILS. Let's go ahead and enter the ILS frequency while we're thinking about it. Again, let's hope this is right. 108.7. I'm just getting this off the internet. Go ahead and switch bearing 1 to nav 1, just so we know when we're getting ILS data, which we're not going to be getting anytime soon. We're still 131 nautical miles from the airport. Nice weather, cool fall afternoon, or rather early morning in Osaka. 52 degrees and partly cloudy. Winds are out of the north at 4 miles an hour. Humidity 76%. Pressure's 3018. Sunrise is 6:44 in the morning in Osaka. Current time in Osaka is 6:51, so the sun has risen. We can obviously see that from way up here at 36,000 feet. Beautiful, just a gorgeous, gorgeous morning. Crisp fall morning. See amazing clouds. Beautiful. Just what a gorgeous morning. I mean, you can almost feel it. You can almost feel it. Anyway, 6:52 in the morning right now in Osaka. I expect us to be on the ground in about 20 minutes. More than a half an hour ahead of schedule. Again, I expected to land about 7:45 Osaka time. I imagine we'll be on the ground in about, as I said, 20 minutes, maybe as early as 7:12, maybe 7:14, 7:15 a.m. their time. Zulu is 21:52 currently. 06:52 Osaka time. As usual, I'm here in Southern California, and the temperature, or the time, Pacific Standard Time, is 13:52, 1:52 p.m. I was thinking whether I wanted to do this overnight flight. It was a little intimidating, I'll be honest. Taking off at midnight out of Kuala Lampur, there was a lot of thunderstorm activity, and it was just black as pitch flying over the South China Sea for the last 5 hours. But it's gorgeous watching the sunrise come up. Really gorgeous. And now we're going to be able to enjoy breakfast in Osaka. A little Thanksgiving breakfast in Osaka, which will be nice. I needed to do an early flight today. That is a flight that I began early in the morning PST, because I've got to go and start getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner. So I knew if I waited, I wouldn't be able to get around to it. Looking good on our descent. We're at 31,000 feet and descending at 2,000 feet per minute. We'll increase that to 2,200 feet per minute. We'll leave our speed exactly where it is for now. Not sure where I'm going to stay in Osaka yet. There's no shortage. My instinct is to go to the Ritz-Carlton in Osaka. I've stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in a few cities around the world, including Berlin, which I absolutely loved. That is in real life. So I think we might as well go to the Ritz-Carlton in Osaka once we land, get parked. Remember, yesterday's approach into Kuala Lumpur was sort of hamstrung by a ILS alignment problem. It is what it is. Hopefully we don't have the same problem. Kansai Airport, we're landing at runway 06 left, the ILS Zulu approach, is an artificial island. So no obstructions or anything like that. It should be comparatively smooth, assuming that the sim cooperates. We're 96 miles now from the airport and at 28,000 feet. Shallow out our descent rate slightly. Remember my general rule, 3,000 feet at 10, 6,000 feet at 20, 9,000 feet at 30, and so forth. We're 93 nautical miles and 27,000, descending through 27,700 feet. Looking good. But I've said that before. I was really struck by just how dark it was on this takeoff in our flight. I wish I could move this camera around to give you a few other angles, but unfortunately it's just not working. I don't know why. Still looks good though. Look at that sunrise. November 343 Bravo Whiskey. Of course, the big question is where to go now. Ooh, we got a little chop. Seeing us bouncing around a little bit. Tailwind's diminished slightly, but still not insignificant. 85 knot tailwind, still moving right along. Probably gonna have to break out the speed brakes here in a minute. Showing 84 miles from the airport. Whoa! Wow! A lot of chop. Here the auto throttle is trying to compensate as we continue our descent. Interesting. 2,000 feet per minute. Really? Wow. Bouncing around. You hear that? Descending through 25,000. Look at that. Oh God, she's beautiful. What a stunning, stunning creature. Little ice. All right. Continue our descent into Osaka. See if ATC's got anything for us. Yeah, they're just being useless. They want us at 35,000 feet right now. We're 12 minutes from the airport. You see why I don't use it? "76 nautical miles now out. Looks like we're going to go through some clouds. Still have our anti-icing equipment activated. We did experience some icing on our climb out from Kuala Lumpur. WMKK Whiskey Mike Kilo Kilo. And as I said, we're going to Kansai in Osaka RJBB Romeo Juliet Bravo Bravo. I just hope we get a little more cooperation and success from the sim on this approach. I don't like doing missed approaches. I don't like doing, you know, being set up for short final and then realizing there's this problem or that problem, or it's just very, I don't know, what's the word? It's dispiriting. I like things to work out. I like things, I'm an organized person for the most part, and I expect things to go according to plan. When they don't, okay, you know, I'll work to handle it. I'm in the business of handling things, so to speak, but I expect things to work. And as I've mentioned before in a few other comments, when things don't work because of something I did wrong, I own it. But when they don't work because of something the sim did wrong, that's frustrating. God, look at that sunrise. Jesus. Beautiful sunrise over the Pacific. Coming up. So nice. 7 a.m. now in Osaka. We're headed towards the waypoint DATIS, See that? DATIS? It's 27.6 nautical miles away, 4 minutes 46 seconds. Until we get to Datus. When we get to Datus, you see here, we'll make a left turn to Barry, from Barry to Babel, from Babel to Luigi, from Luigi to runway 06 left. Right there. You see this artificial island? That's Kansai Airport. Descending through 17,500. Time to start slowing. Get down to about 200 knots. Go ahead and use the speed brake to shut that guy up. Speed brake. You can see him right there on the window, on the wings. That helps slow us down. Also allows me to slow down the auto throttle without that annoying sound. Again, that landing gear alert is just linked to the autopilot's perception of how much you've throttled back. I don't know if that makes sense, but it presumes that if you are throttling way back and pulling the throttle back, that you're about to land, and so it's trying to be helpful by reminding you that your landing gear isn't down.
Landing gear.
But unfortunately, it's just overly sensitive in the sim. Slow down to 190.
Landing gear.
Okay, we're looking good. Bring that speed brake in. There we go. Still no ILS data yet.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
There you see how the speed brakes help in that regard. 1021's nearest altimeter. We'll see how correct that is. 3006. Kind of close. Get ready to make our left turn at Datus. Showing just 48 nautical miles from the airport. 13,000 feet. Shallow out our descent rate a little. Bring in those speed brakes. Leave it at 190 right now. Looking pretty good right now. Left turn at Datus, the right turn at Barry.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Have to use those speed brakes again. Leave it at 190. There we go. It's all a big dance that you do with the flight sim, with the autopilot when it comes to auto throttle and speed brakes.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
I don't think we have anything to worry about in terms of weather, just maybe some scattered preset. Definitely having to use those speed brakes quite a bit. Let's go ahead and set our new altitude to 3,000. Couldn't find any approach plates for this airport.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Just gonna have to wait for that engine to spool up so it stops thinking that we're going too slow. This is a function of the tailwind. That's what's happening. Still have a 37 knot tailwind. Let's go ahead and activate our landing lights. All right, getting ready to go down into the clouds here. And to make our left turn, we'll just deactivate our bank angle limiter, allowing the aircraft to make sharper turns. Showing just 9 minutes now. Things looking good. Just 28 seconds from our left turn now. And getting ready to head into those clouds. There's that left turn. Now just passing over Datus. Headed to our next waypoint, Berry. B-E-R-R-Y. Bravo Echo Romeo Yankee. And showing us just 4 minutes 21 seconds from that next waypoint. Here we get ready to go into the clouds. Beautiful. What a picture, huh? Look at that bird. Look at that. Yep. She started in Kuala Lumpur. There she goes. Actually, I guess technically we started in Sacramento. Let's bring this back in. Sacramento, Maui, Tahiti, Auckland, Sydney, Perth, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, and now Osaka. I have to say, I think our tour of the Pacific Rim is coming to an end.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Let's go and set 185.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
1 notch flaps. Having to use these speed brakes. I'm moving this in tandem with the throttle. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. 6,000 feet. We'll go ahead and shallow out now. Lower than we need to be, but that's okay. I'd rather be. Not going to have any more landing gear alerts now. It's an overwater approach, which is fine by me. I prefer them. Very shallow descent. Very shallow. About as shallow as it gets. Let's go and zoom in here on the MFD. We do have ILS data now coming in. IKJ, India Kilo Juliet, 24 nautical miles. Again, once we, there's Japan. Once we turn at Berry, I'll switch over to nav 1 on the nav source from FMS to nav 1, which should give us ILS information. Hopefully we'll intercept the localizer, showing just 25 nautical miles from the airport. Again, assume 6,000 feet at 20. We're at 5860 at 24. Beautiful morning. What a pretty morning in Osaka. Wow. Look at that. Oh, goodness. I sure wish I could move around with that, but unfortunately, it's not working. I'm pushing the keys here that I normally would push. No luck. We still can't move around with this, though. All right. Showing now 23 nautical miles. There's 4.2 nautical miles from Berry. Again, once we get to Berry, right here, we'll make a right turn this way, and I'll activate the nav source over to, switch the nav source over to nav 1. showing 21 nautical miles, showing 6 minutes 48 seconds. Continue slowing. Go down to 170. See if ATC's playing ball yet. No, they're still screwed up. Okay, here comes Barry. Just 41 seconds now till turning right. And we'll hopefully intercept the localizer without issue. Let's go ahead and activate nav. Oh, excuse me. We're already on nav, of course, but let's go ahead and switch this over to nav 1 on FMS, from FMS to nav 1. And there we go. I don't know if you saw what happened there. Whoops. Okay, there we go. It's acting up. Okay, see that green line moving? Now we should be turning right to intercept it. I don't know why we aren't, however. Okay, this isn't good. Let's go ahead and switch this back. I don't know what's going on with that. There's the airport. Seems like we're a little high. Slow down. We're not too high. I'm still getting glide slope information right here. I want, though, to know why. Put our gear down now. It's funny how that airport's just sitting out there in the middle of nowhere. Look at that. It's crazy. Wow. Why in the world are we not getting ILS information? Come on now. Okay, so we do have information, but the airplane's not turning. We should be turning left right now. I don't know what it is about Asia. Okay, let's set it up at 155 full flaps. Should be intercepting that glide slope. Actually positioned really nicely. And actually, it does seem to be working now. This. But why am I not intercepting that glide slope? Shallow out a little. Okay. Anyway, here we're getting ready here, so let's. There we are. Full flaps, configured for landing. Look at the sun through the windows. My God. Almost see a beautiful woman right in there in the window. Should be intercepting this glide slope. I don't know why it's not. Airspeed's great though. This should turn green. Come on, guy. Shallow out a little bit more. Try to coax it into accepting. Long flight. 5 hours, 52 minutes. Wow. Be on the ground though, about 7:18. 7:14 Osaka time right now, showing 3 minutes 26 seconds. No love though on the glide slope. Just gonna have to handle it. Try the approach button, see if that grabs it. There we go! Look. Grabbed it. Now we're in business. So this is looking like a much better approach than last time. Although I'm a little perturbed by this 11 knot, 10 knot tailwind. Current weather in Osaka is winds out of the north from this way. So I don't know why that's not being replicated in Sim. In any event, we're okay. Got full flap deployment. full flaps, right there. Whoa! Easy there, guy. Sorry. Full flap deployment. Gear is down. Reconfirm. Gear down. Full flaps. Altimeter's correct at 30.06. Airspeed's perfect, 153 knots. Zoom in here. FT, a little bit more. Okay. Here we go. Tailwind's diminishing nicely now, just to 6 knots. Certainly more than within the abilities of this aircraft. Look at that. Have a little bit of Suntory whiskey Toki label, which I'm going to take a little sip of right now in honor of our impending arrival to Osaka. Ah, that's delicious. All right, I'm seeing 1 white, 3 reds on the poppy. Let's go ahead and disable our auto throttle. God willing, we don't have the same problems we've had before. Looks good. Okay. Looks like we may have a hell of a taxi, though.
500.
500 AGL. Disable, disengage, autopilot, I should say.
Autopilot.
Okay. Two and 2. Runway 06 left. Confirmed. 3 and 1. Idle. Float a little bit here. We got a nice long runway. Little bounce. Okay. Not going to make that first turn off. Not safely. Okay. Make the second turn off right here. Finally tap those brakes a little bit. That airspeed down. Here we go. Welcome to Osaka. Local time 7:18 a.m. Original landing time expected 7:45. So not half bad in terms of making up for some scheduling issues. Okay, let's go ahead and check with ground. Let's see if we get any help with ground. We had some trouble last time in Kuala Lumpur. Taxi to parking. Let's see if we get any arrows. There we go. That's helpful. Before we begin, let's go ahead and just reconfigure the airplane. Let's bring in those spoilers. There we go. And let's bring in the flaps. Excellent. Okay. And we'll switch over to taxi lights. And we'll head over to the parking, wherever the hell that is. Oh, it's not too far. Just 1 mile. Well, that was nice. That was a nice change after the Kuala Lumpur missed approach and so forth. Okay, doing 14 knots here. Welcome to Osaka. Beautiful Friday morning in Osaka, and as I said, I think we landed about 7:18 a.m. Always happy to shave 27 minutes off a flight. I think this does constitute the longest flight I've done yet in the longitude. Let's see, check our timer here real quick. What did it say? 5 hours, 58 minutes. So, yeah, that does constitute our longest flights. not quite 6 hours. I did start the timer when we began our takeoff roll. Beautiful. What a great flight. Big airport. Good Lord. And that last sip of Suntory. Woo! Wowzers. Good stuff. Good stuff. I recently discovered Japanese whiskeys. They're delicious. Airspeed's good. Our speed, rather, I guess technically it is airspeed since we're in an airplane, but our speed on the ground's fine, 23 knots. Still steering with my feet. That was fun. What a great flight from Kuala Lumpur to Osaka. There's the tower. Weather in sim appears correct, other than that wind being a little goofy. It was described as partly cloudy, 52 degrees. Probably not the first plane in this morning, but I don't know when airplanes start arriving in Osaka in the morning. I mean, it's an international airport. This is a handcrafted airport. And the way I know that is United. Look at that. Not a generic airplane. So, I think I've mentioned before that I have the Premium Deluxe Edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it includes, I can't remember, I think about 30 airports worldwide that are handcrafted, which is always fun. Just because of the attention to detail is just extraordinary. All right. It's a 1/10 of a mile now from our runway, or from our parking spot. Long flight, overnight flight. I assume my passenger was sound asleep in the back for most of it. I aim to please. But I also aim to deliver people safely to their destination. And it appears as though we've done exactly that here in Osaka. All right, let's turn around. Don't know that I need to go all the way there, but this is a new airport, so we'll be conservative, cautious, take care of things in a gentlemanly way, with a mindful eye towards responsibility and duty. Okay, continue our right turn here, and we should have our flashlight guy waiting for us. There he is. Excellent. Very good. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna park this baby and go start getting ready for Turkey. Looks like somebody else is on final. Right there. Good. Is he gonna stop me? Okay. Sometimes that happens. All right, let's go ahead and activate our parking brake and kill the engines. All right, let's go outside real quick, take a look. I mean, I think I probably should have stopped right there, maybe about 15 feet. But you saw he didn't stop waving me in. Anyway, this is a perfectly acceptable parking space, as you can see. Actually, more than adequate. Lined up beautifully as well, I should point out. There's somebody on final. That guy right there is where we were a few minutes ago. You see that guy? Nice. Okay. Let's go ahead and depressurize. And our shutdown will include deactivating the anti-icing equipment, turning off our lights, and we already did the battery. Check our timer to final confirmation. You can stop that now. 6 hours, 4 minutes, 46 seconds. Of course, I started at takeoff roll. And I think that is it. So, welcome to Osaka, Japan. Here we are. It's great to be here. And I'm even happier that we successfully completed this flight. Let's go ahead and do official shutdown here. That's that. We'll see you soon.